Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Everybody rise, we'll say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone. If you haven't signed in, please sign in back there on that back corner on the sheet. Okay. Is there any public comment on anything not on the agenda today? Anything on the computer?
No.
Okay. Seeing none, we'll move ahead. Do we have any minutes to approve?
No.
No minutes to approve at this time, okay. Okay, old business, discussion, decision, subdivision regulation amendments.
Yes. Mr. Chair, may I interject here?
Yes.
And request that maybe you flip-flop old and new business so that our guest, Mr. Spiker, doesn't have to sit through the regulations unless he wants to. We're not forcing him to sit through them.
Right, okay, that's fine. Is that all right with everybody else?
Yep.
Okay, so we will table old business for this minute and head to new business. Discussion decision, Spiker Track B minor subdivision. Okay, so can we have the staff report?
Absolutely. And Mr. Chair, the commissioners have recently not required, I think that's the best way of putting it, me to read it into the record, and I am going to request the same of this body, just because it's a lot of redundant information, as in regulation citing. So if I may summarize, I think that would be the best use of your time. But if you want me to read it verbatim, I absolutely can. But if you'd like to give you a summary on this subdivision, that would be my preference.
Summary would be fine.
Okay.
Is that all right with everybody?
Yep.
So I know you were all receiving this packet. As we walked in, I handed you this application packet. I also know that Daleen reached out to you. You did not have correspondence from the county until Thursday, and that was me. That was absolutely me requesting that of Daleen, because this is a first minor subdivision. There's only 35 working days for the county to make a decision of preliminary approval with conditions, approval, or denial. The commissioners like to have 2 weeks to look at these subdivisions, to look at any subdivision, since they are the governing body. That's not to say that you can't have 2 weeks also, but in order for me to be mindful of that 35 working day time clock, which sounds like a lot, but 7 weeks really isn't that long, especially now that we're in the holiday season. The commissioners have one meeting where 2 of the commissioners will be gone, or 1 week, I'm sorry, where 2 of the commissioners will be gone, so there's not a quorum. Then we have Thanksgiving week where there is no meeting, and then 2 weeks later, they're at training. So all of that to say I had very, very limited time in order to squeeze in 2 commission meetings and back up my calendar, if you will, to give you potentially 2 meetings. So I just want to lead off by saying thank you for being here on very, very short notice, and I want you to know that's why we are giving you short notice. And if there are any other subdivisions that come in during this time period, it'll probably also be a short notice meeting if we're able to get a quorum. So just so you know, this was not any staff member being negligent. It's just being mindful of that 7-week time period with holidays and absences from meetings. So all of that to say, you are receiving this application for the first time today. And if I can, please draw your attention to, I believe it's tab 4, because that's always the most important tab. That is the preliminary plat. Oh, I shouldn't say the most important, but that's the best place to start. Tab 4 is the preliminary plat. So, as I stated previously, Mr. Stephen Spiker is here. He's one of the landowners. Him and his wife Ann own this property. Christy Heineman is their representative. So this is a fairly large parcel that Mr. and Mrs. Spiker own, and they're wanting to split off what you'll see as Tract B in the lower, what is that, east southwest corner of their larger parcel. And the reason this is not a 2-lot minor subdivision, as you can see, the second amended Tract A, it's greater than 160. And so we don't identify parcels greater than 160 as a separate parcel. So it's really a true one-lot minor subdivision, whereby they're creating this Tract B 1.97 acres. And this is irrelevant to the conversation, but just because I do know it, I'm sharing this knowledge with you. It's so that their grandson can have a place to build a home. As you may or may not know, in this last legislative session, the 2025 legislative session, there was a bill before the legislators to amend the Family Transfer Act to allow for family transfers from grandparents to grandchildren and grandchildren to grandparents, and also siblings. That bill did not pass. I do think it would have been an important bill, and it would have been beneficial for many Montanans. However, not applicable in this instance, so Mr. and Mrs. Spiker are having to go through the subdivision process in order to gift or sell, that's their prerogative, whichever mechanism they choose, their grandson a parcel of land. So, as you can see, it has direct access onto Dry Hollow Road. Dry Hollow Road is a county road. Prior to any future landowners, even if it's not their grandson, even if Mr. and Mrs. Spiker keep it, whomever the landowners are of this Tract B, should it receive final plat approval, they'll need to apply for a county road approach permit from the Public Works Department. That's not abnormal. They will also need to submit Tract B, which I believe has already been done, to DEQ, Department of Environmental Quality, for review and approval. Since the parcel is less than 20 acres, it will have its own on-site well and septic system. So it'll have its own driveway, on-site well, septic system. Approach permit, no environmental assessment was needed, so that portion of the document, or of the application, did not need to be completed. Really no impacts on agriculture, no impacts on agricultural water user facilities. Again, it's a fairly small corner, and if you're looking at aerial photography, it's a pivot corner. So I don't want to say no impact because it is being removed from agriculture, but I would feel very confident to say very close to no impact on any agricultural. Definitely no impact on agricultural productivity, since it's not a productive corner, to my understanding. What else can I tell you? Impacts on wildlife and wildlife habitat, obviously fairly minimal given the size of the parcel. It complies with subdivision regulations. Impacts on public health and safety, I really couldn't identify any major impacts or any impacts on public health and safety. Fire services will be provided by Broadwater County Rural Fire District, schools, Townsend schools. Solid waste, they are within the Broadwater County Solid Waste District, so all Broadwater County taxpayers will be required to show proof of that their tax assessments have been paid, so they can have that little sticker so they can haul their waste to the Broadwater County solid waste site of their choosing. Really nothing else. This is one of the, should I move that so you can hear me? I'm sorry. One of the simplest subdivisions that I've seen in a very long time. So I really don't have anything further to add, but I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you have any concerns, we can certainly work through those. So I'm not trying to downplay anything by any means. It's flat ground, pivot corner, county road access, no roads constructed, no road plans. Impacts on public health and safety, almost zero.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Will a hydrogeologic assessment be required to install the well?
No, sir.
No, because it's exempt.
That is correct. And to expand on that, DNRC, as you all know, has this 10 acre-feet per parcel minimum, but this does not apply in this instance because this is not this parent parcel, as we're referring it to, is not a parcel because it's greater than 160 acres. So 10 acre-feet will be allotted to Tract B, which is more than sufficient to serve one residence. So no hydrologic study required.
Any other questions?
The the water right, there's two,
What tab are you on? I'm sorry.
yep, you're right, 14.
Thank you.
Or 15, sorry,
15.
15, yeah.
Okay.
Is that an existing well, or is that the well at your home
No, it's gonna
place?
require a new well. The other well is up in the middle of the field. This is up just east of the parcel, and it's off of this parcel, so we're gonna have to drill it.
Joe, yeah, okay, so this is a stock water,
No, that was a stock water well.
that one, okay, yeah.
And I also want to preface this, I hope you don't at all feel rushed, just because I have very little to explain on this project. Don't at all feel rushed like you have to make your decision today. The county deadline for action is indeed December 12th. So you still have, if you did want another meeting to discuss, take some time to look at this, I would suggest that you, I wouldn't suggest, I would graciously ask that you hold your meeting next week. Just to allow, like I said, for that time clock and ample time for the commissioners as well. But certainly don't feel rushed.
So Dale, this water right is for the well located in the middle of the field?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a stock water well.
In the irrigation ditch feeds the pivot?
From what I understand, and disrespectful, but they get the water that feeds those two pivots out of the canal, the Broadwater, Missouri Canal.
Right.
Yeah.
So does Broadwater, Missouri cut through this, along the side of this amended track A?
No. It doesn't cut alongside of it. It's up probably a couple hundred yards from it. There's a piece between this parcel and the canal owned by Bob Davis.
It's Bob's stack yard. Just as you cross the canal, Bob has a stack yard there.
Backyard.
And then this is right next
Okay.
to it. Yeah, just to the east of that stack yard. Oh, it should be in the microphone, sorry.
Magnifying glass?
Yeah, here we go again.
Can we have Mr. Spiker come to the mic? Galen said we'd have him come to the
Yes.
mic. Sorry about that.
Steve,
know
can you
why?
come up and answer questions at the
Oh,
mic
sure.
when we have them?
Sorry, just so everyone can hear. Who might be listening.
I'm not used to this.
You look great.
This, let's look through.
So this track B will be bordering Bob Davis's, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that, the way this is drawn on here then is your amended track A is straight on two sides and not on the other two. Follows a ditchway or something, the canal?
The canal, yeah, the canal is on the west side of Bob Davis's, and we're on the east side of his property.
The canal is on the east side of
Yeah.
Bob Davis's? Okay, yeah, that's right, okay.
So this, I do see one thing in the, let's see, it's the NRCS,
Which tab are you on?
classification, sorry, let's see, let's get tabs here. I think it's 25. So the map is at the wrong spot. That looks like that's Flynn Ranch, or Hidden Hollow and Brandon. 'Cause that's Shelley and Flynn.
May I approach?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, there's Shelley, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this is Flynn's.
Yeah, so yeah, that's Hidden Hollow and then that's Brandon. Yeah, so I think if
Right.
we just amend
This-
the,
This doesn't have anything to do with me.
right. So yeah, we'll just have to, it'll just get amended in the application.
So the summary of follow on that?
I don't have that map in my binder.
20, in tab 25, it's back, I don't know how many pages, a few pages.
Yeah, my
I don't
tab.
think it's a problem, it just,
Oh, it is in the back of 25,
yeah, it's towards the back of,
I don't have it in my tab 25.
It's more like in the middle.
yeah, you're right, in the middle.
Yeah, I was having trouble finding it too, but yeah, this doesn't look like it has anything to do
I
with
don't
you
have-
guys.
It's
Yeah.
just the,
There's nothing to do with me on that.
it's the soils map is all it is. It's the
Yeah.
NRCS soils map.
So that's the closest one they can find to my property?
Well, it should be able to call it up for everybody. It should be a countywide database from what I understand, because I know that,
I know there were samples taken.
sure,
J.J.
yeah.
Connor took those,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Because I have, there, way back when we were dreaming, we've looked at other property in other counties and we were able to get the whole countywide soils map.
Right.
But yeah, I think it just needs to be updated it's not it shouldn't be a problem.
Mr. Chair, if you don't have any specific questions of Mr. Spiker at this time, as you're going through your binders, can I read over the list of conditions that I'm proposing?
Sure.
And then you can have a seat because they'll have a minute before they have questions of you. All right, condition 1, any and all adopted state and county requirements and standards which apply to the proposed subdivision must be met unless otherwise waived for cause by the governing body. Number 2 is the DEQ approval. Number 3, the subdivider required to submit electronic plans to my office. Number 4, the U.S. Postal Service shall approve the mailbox location should they choose to have on-site mail delivery. Number 5, the fire protection plan should be complete prior to final plat approval. Number 6, a noxious weed management plan shall be complete prior to final plat approval. Number 7, final plat prepared according to all regulations and guidelines, with existing and proposed utility easements shown, as well as existing access and utility easements adjacent to the property. Number 8, these are the restrictive covenants that the county would like to see recorded with the plat. Number 1, or A, excuse me, I should give the appropriate letter here. This lot shall be used for residential purposes only. B, essentially waiving the right to protest the joining of a rural improvement district. C, this is that each lot shall be maintained in a weed-free manner and adhere to the noxious weed management plan. D, this is stating that there is a potential health risk from radon concentrations and that homeowner awareness shall be followed. E, this is giving notice that the structures are within the seismic zone 3 and should use appropriate construction materials. F, this is the hold harmless restrictive covenant, essentially whereby the county is relieved of any obligation or liability should there be exposure to radon, any damages from earthquakes, or any issues with water availability. Condition G, this is giving the landowners notice of ag operations in the vicinity, which I think would be probably they'd be aware of that given the location they're moving to, but this is putting it on paper. And letter H is that all domestic pets shall be restrained on the property at all times. Condition 9, this is the right to farm resolution that the subdivider will draft and file with these covenants. 10, these following improvements shall be installed prior to final plat approval. Any necessary improvements required by the stormwater drainage plan, weed management plan, fire protection plan, or approach permits. Subitem B, the installation of mail delivery facilities, should that be required by the post office. And C, utilities shall be abutting and available to each lot. 11A, taxes must be paid for the current tax year. And 11B, an abstract of title or platting certificate must be submitted showing that the landowner is the lawful owner of the property, with the apparent authority to subdivide the same. I'm happy to discuss removing or adding any conditions as you see fit.
Any discussion on the recommended conditions?
May I ask a question, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Ms. Hyman? Are you aware, I'm not off base saying that there's a soils map for everywhere, correct?
Yeah, so Christy Heineman, Heinemann. Yeah, it's just that you can't pull up specific properties, so you kind of just have to look at the lay of the land and try and figure out where it is. I must have just missed it by a little bit. So I
yeah,
can
it's
totally
close.
update that map.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be very easy to do.
Sure. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's really the only thing that I seeing offhand.
Anybody else have any comments or found anything yet? So Steve, can you come up to the microphone? Are there power lines or any fiber optics around that area?
There's no fiber optics, but there is a power line that runs up Dry Hollow Road. It's just a domestic one.
Is it buried or above
No, it's
ground?
on poles.
It's on poles, okay. And you'll be able to access that for the
Yes.
lot?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can I ask, is that Vigilante or Northwestern?
That's Vigilante.
That one's
there.
Vigilante, that's what I
That's the
thought.
line,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
And it's
Yeah, because
northwest and south.
yep, yeah, because both sides of me is Vigilante as well.
Correct.
That's what I thought, so.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where that cutoff was.
It's close.
It is close, yeah.
It's close.
Any more questions? This is a weird application because there's so many tabs that are empty.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to do a whole lot
That's
of.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Bet you have trouble with water runoff on this with that 6-foot drop, huh?
Yeah, there's never been an issue. Yeah, in fact, it stands.
So maybe not to jump the gun, Mr. Chair, but I would move that we come back next week just to look at the updated NRCS map, and we'll have a chance to look it over, but I don't think that I don't see anything that stands out as problematic at all, but I'd make that as a motion.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I would second that. Give us some time to review it a little bit more, but get what we need in the meantime.
Okay, we have a motion to come back next week and go over any additions and to get a chance to go through our application a little more thoroughly. Is there any discussion? Any other discussion? We do have a second on that, so all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right. Well, we will go through this and come back next week, hopefully.
Well, thank you very much. I want to thank each and every one of you very much for this. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Well, do we want to set the time now, or is that at the end of the meeting? I'm sorry. I'm chairing too many other things.
It's hard to hold the reins back over there.
It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah. Just so that they know when before they leave.
Thank you. So next Tuesday's a holiday. We do know that won't be available.
Yep.
Monday, I think the room was available, but some of you were not available.
I'm not available.
But you said Misty can come in,
I
right,
would
Danny?
have to talk to her.
Okay.
Is that stink bug gonna get you?
No, I'm okay. It was just a surprise.
The 12th, there is no commission meeting. So this room may be available. That's a Wednesday. Mhm.
That's the last day of next week that I could do it, but
Okay.
Wednesday would work.
So Monday or Wednesday?
Do you have a preference, Charles? Wednesday works for you? How about you?
Nope, sorry, I can't make it either one.
Oh, you had a training. That's right.
I got training on the week, yeah.
Yeah, so you were not available at all. That's right.
Are you available?
I should be, as far as I know.
That's the way I
You know-
always answer stuff, too.
Yeah, you never know what comes up. Like it says in Young, there many a slip twixt a cup and a lip.
Ironic, because you were picking up a woman who slipped.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So is there a preference, Monday or Wednesday, for the ones that can be here?
I could do either Monday or Wednesday, you know.
Yeah, dealer's choice.
No preference.
Should we shoot for Monday?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Monday at 1 again?
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything under new business yet? Is the Montana Land Reliance discussion?
Yes. What do I have to add there? Oh, the commissioners are hosting a meeting with the new director of the Montana Land Reliance, or the managing member, I think is what the title is there. Next Wednesday, the 19th. But I don't really have anything to report on that because I haven't heard from the commissioners, so really just, I was asked by one of the commissioners to put this on the agenda to notify you, so you could be present, and if you had any questions for Montana Land Reliance specifically, that we could ask.
So what do they do?
Conservation easements. So I know very little about conservation easements. I kind of have mixed feelings about them, so I'm going to stay away from my personal preference. But, you know, essentially conservation easements are for perpetuity. So once land is placed in a conservation easement, there is a mechanism to get it out of conservation easement, but it's usually there forever and ever and ever and ever. Which can be good and can be bad.
Yeah, that depends on your point of view at the time.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, is there anything else under new business?
What do we know about is it the DNRC meeting? Is it Thursday?
Oh, pick me.
Huh?
I said pick me.
There's a meeting at the community room, is there not, about the Alaska Trail water rights for it didn't happen right. They're gonna evidently the divider, the whatever they call them,
The subdivision plan?
subdivider didn't do it right. The second one, I don't know, but they're coming back and saying that it wasn't done right, and so now they're talking about that one, and there's another one out there by the silos, is there not? I don't know is it just the
Yeah, they're just referring to that Lake Vista subdivision as the silos area.
Okay, so I thought it was just Alaska Trail, but it's the whole,
Yeah, Lake Vista is all of Alaska
all that.
Trail.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just,
He just happened to buy that piece of the whole Vista, is that right? Because isn't Alaska Trail a different owner? Oh, maybe I'm way off. But there's a meeting, is it not on the 6th?
yeah, so there's a meeting on Thursday. Do you want me to take over?
My
I'm not-
guesses? Yes, please.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't want to start talking if you weren't done. I'm really being polite for once.
Thank you.
Take
I'm
it.
done.
Take my politeness. I'm giving you
Okay,
one per
well,
year. One per year. Just
And
kidding.
this is it?
This is it. This is it. He
Okay.
waited this long, all the way to November, to
wait.
call me on that card. Yeah. Okay, so on Thursday, November 6th, the DNRC is holding a meeting at the community room right at 4 o'clock, which is really convenient because school gets out at 3:52. DNRC did not reach out to the Broadwater County Commissioners. They did not reach out to Broadwater County staff. They reached out to local legislators to inform them of this meeting that was being held, which is really interesting, to say the least. So this meeting is specifically on Lake Vista subdivision. Lake Vista subdivision consists of 5 subdivisions. So Lake Vista was originally a 5-lot minor subdivision, all lots greater than 20 acres. That landowner then took 3 of those lots and subsequently divided them, so split them down further into 5 additional lots each. One of the 5 lots was sold as a 20-acre. It still is a 20-acre. There's a home there. The people are inhabiting it as all 20 acres. One of the other lots sold to a different landowner. He split it into 7 lots. So now we have 23 lots out there off of Alaska Trail. It's Lake Vista 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Lake Vista Original and Lake Vista 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lot 5 obviously was never done. 23 lots out there. There are 19 homes out there on those 23 lots. Of those homes, 11 of them have perfected water rights, as in they have their certificate of water right. 8 of them do not, although they are homes. They're using water. They simply have, I believe it's called the abstract of water right. I was not prepared to speak on this 100%, but I think that's what it's called. I think you have your certificate of water right and your abstract of water right. In any case, DNRC has sent out a letter to all lot owners in the Lake Vista subdivisions to hold this public meeting on Thursday, November 6th at 4 p.m. at the community room to talk about what you can do as landowners to help your neighbors, because since they don't have a certificate of water right, we're not really sure what we're going to do as far as enforcement, but you can share your water right with your neighbor, which is going to go over swimmingly. So we'll see. We'll see how this meeting goes. I would like to know what their enforcement is. The whole purpose of this meeting, and they're working backwards, because so any lots created prior to 2014 are fine, but anything created after 2014 where this 10 acre feet of water is being, 10 acre feet of water per parcel, is being required, was being looked at by DNRC. DNRC, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because this is in your wheelhouse, punted that to DEQ to check for the availability of water, is what I'm hearing, and not just the location of water, but the availability of water. And again, I'm speaking out of my lane a little bit here, so take that with a grain of salt. But so DNRC now, because of Judge McMahon's ruling of February 14th, 2024, that the 10 acre feet is applicable to all lots created after 2014. DNRC is working backwards to say, oh shoot, we had some lots that were created. 10 acre feet of water can comfortably serve 11 homes, which is why, and conveniently why, in the Lake Vista subdivision, 11 of those homes, probably the first 11, to have their wells drilled, have their certificate of water right. The additional 8 homes do not, but subsequently those homes have been sold, resold. There's also a few homes being constructed on the remaining 4 lots. I know of at least 1 home that's being constructed that doesn't have a well, so I don't know what that means.
It means they're going to build a house and then drill a well later.
Or not.
Or not be able to, yes.
Mm-hmm. It may mean that they will be trekking in water if they choose to not have a dry cabin. So.
Unless they get some water rights from the neighbors.
Or the neighbors will share their water rights with them. In a perfect world.
For a nominal fee, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, so it's an interesting meeting. It's interesting that we had to find out from our representative, Jane Gillette, actually contacted the county to say, hey, did you know this was happening? And, I'm not a politician, but it's never it's never a great feeling when someone higher up than you has to, and I should say higher up, just in that Jane is reviewing a greater area than the commissioners, right? Like the commissioner's jurisdictional area is absolutely Broadwater County, that they didn't find out. And actually, we found out before Jane Gillette, because one of the landowners out there actually came to me and said, what does this letter mean? What is going on? And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. Read
And
the
that's
letter.
how she found out.
And that's how, yes. And okay, and then that's how Jane found out. And so, it was my understanding DNRC was contacting the state legislators. There was a bill that Wiley Galt was trying to pass, or Wiley Galt was sponsoring, at the last legislative session that didn't pass, that would grandfather these wells in. There was more, obviously, way more to it than just that.
I
But
read part of that.
anyway, so now
fly,
we're
so.
trying to determine what's going on. So there were 8 subdivisions in this area, of DNRC, 5 counties affected. And I don't know what their region consists of, because actually Commissioner Rick Myron and I had a phone conversation with 2 of the folks at DNRC to say, what is going on with this meeting and what can we prepare for? And also, why didn't you contact the local folks first? It would have been nice to find out immediately so we could, be kind of reading up on it a little bit sooner than trying to, after the fire started. So anyway, I know very little about it, but I'll be there. All 3 commissioners are going to be there. I believe our county attorney is going to be there. Also, DNRC has asked the sheriff's office to be there. So that tells you what they...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna go, Ed, or do you want to drive the bus?
You guys want to rock, paper, scissors?
I'm a little hot on the situation because they sit there and they say they grant preliminary. Oh yeah, go ahead and put in a well, and now they want a second bite at the apple.
After homes are already
And
constructed.
after homes are already constructed, I'm like, you're a little bit late to the party. You can't just punt it.
Yeah, I would love to be at this meeting, but I'm gonna be in Butte, so,
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
you
that's
have-
right. Yeah,
Right.
you got volleyball.
yeah, I can't drive your bus.
Jeremy's got a
either.
funeral. I was so mad that they made it at 4.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, right?
It's just
Yeah.
Well, that's what the DNRC stands
Ironically,
for. Does not really care.
Ooh. Tell me how you really feel. I have a
We are still alive.
land
We
use.
are.
It's okay.
all right.
You can have your own personal feelings.
That
I have a
does
land
not
use.
represent planning board opinion.
Good disclaimer. Thank you. This is Dallas Deal, private citizen.
That's right.
I have a land use training in Helena that's being put on by about 16 different attorneys that I've been looking forward to for about 6 months. That's actually on Thursday and Friday at 3:15. The topic on this land use seminar in Helena is Broadwater County v. Horse Creek Hills. Sorry, v. Upper Missouri Waterkeepers, but because of Horse Creek Hills. So I have to leave right as they're, because, this is way more important than that. But it also not a great look that they're going to talk about Broadwater County, and, I'm going to
You
step
won't
out.
be there.
But it's Karen Alley putting it on, so I trust what she's saying. Or this portion of it, anyway.
Can we back up a little bit? So DNRC gave preliminary water rights approval and the houses were constructed. Now they're coming back saying this preliminary water rights approval is no good.
That's my understanding of how this process is working, because as you know, when it comes to water rights, we're not doing a lot. And I say we collectively, planning board, staff, commissioners, right? Like we are definitely punting to the subject matter experts, DNRC and DEQ, on anything below the surface. So that's my understanding, Charles. Yes.
I might go. Can I go?
Of course you can
Yes,
go.
you can go.
It's a public meeting, and we have been told that if you are turned away from this meeting, because that topic has been floated, it is your constitutional right to attend, because this is a public meeting. So if they turn you away, you could be a very rich man.
But I'd have to pay attorney fees.
Reimbursable. No, that's probably. I'm certain that we will be allowed to attend. It just that was again there's been a lot of conversation going on around this, but from folks who I trust, who are telling us this information, that it is a public meeting and you absolutely should make your way into that meeting regardless of what you're told at the door. And not you, I mean staff and electeds as well. So we'll see.
it's not a good look to invite the sheriff's office.
Mm-mm.
It's a very, very poor look to look. I mean, just
Well, yeah, it
just starting with your foot in the bear trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's water. That's Montana. It's a hot subject before we even start discussing it.
And guns are illegal. Illegal. Guns are everywhere. Which is a mistake.
Yeah.
They may not be at the school. I think that schools, bars, churches, I don't know about churches. If they are.
From the offices.
County offices, they are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time. Huh?
It should, it's actually going to be, I'm a little hot about the topic just because I feel like they could have gone, and when I say they, DNRC could have gone about this differently in notifying, at least not staff, but notify the commissioners. We shouldn't have to hear it through different channels.
Yeah.
Right? All of our information is public and readily available. So that frustrates me a bit that, wait a minute, why didn't you contact at least the commissioners? This is their county, this is their jurisdiction. They should know if this topic is occurring. If it's a private meeting, that's one thing, but being put on by a public agency, that's...
They're open to a lawsuit already.
Yes, we shall see what happens there. So, but I'm going to go into it with an open mind. I mean, I have a few questions, mostly like, what is your plan for enforcement? What if these landowners decide that they don't want to share water? What are you going to do with the remaining 8 wells that do not have a certificate of water right? What are you going to do? What's your plan, DNRC? Or do you have a plan?
The remaining lots.
No, the remaining homes, because only 11 of them have certificate of water rights. 8 of them do not.
Right. Okay.
So
backwards.
And maybe there is no enforcement. Maybe there's no enforcement to occur, which is great. And I'm not coming at this adversarially, but that's just my question. And then what happens to the remaining lots that don't have wells? I mean, do they not get a well? I mean, it seems like a really high probability. And as Shay knows, coming from the real estate world, what does that mean for the lot value or the home value? That's
Yeah, well, they're definitely not gonna get out from underneath that ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From their build.
Yeah.
I'll go to that. Charles, if you'll be there, I'll sit next to you. Keep me safe. Protect me. I trust you.
She can probably shoot better than I can.
Now, wait a minute. I thought there was no guns here.
Just change quickly.
It did. Yeah. So anyway, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to just kind of hear the direction they're going, because as of January 1, DNRC is going to have this requirement of a certificate of water right. A notice of intent to appropriate be required by all subdividers in their application packet. So you will start seeing in subdivision application packets the notice of intent to appropriate that the subdivider or their agent would have to submit to DNRC and get back. So DNRC can, I don't know if they're signing off on it. I have no idea what this is going to look like, so we'll see. But this notice of intent to appropriate, and what that will do essentially is protect, I feel, any future lot owners and the developer. So a developer doesn't walk in and say, hey, I want to create a 20-lot subdivision. Well, you have 10 acre-feet of water. How do you mindfully intend to do that? But maybe they don't have knowledge of that, right? So of this 10 acre-feet requirement. So their requirement to connect with DNRC before they even submit their application to the county should hopefully mitigate that. But we won't know until we put it into practice. And that's not coming from us. That's came from the state legislature. That's now law as of January 1.
And we've already got that planned for in our application process?
No, we do not.
So we
because
need
we
to
don't
add
know
that
it.
in as well.
We may need to, but I don't want to add it in now because I don't know exactly what that's going to look like because they don't even have the document or the form ready to go, or if they do, it's not being floated publicly. But yes, that's a fair point.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yes.
As long as you're talking about the north, what do you got for the south?
Nothing.
What's going on in the rest area?
Really good question. With the rest area,
Does the Broadwater not know what's going on in the rest area?
Nope,
That
because
is
it's
right
not
in
ours.
the middle, basically, of everything?
is because what?
It's right in the middle of everything down there. I mean,
Yeah, well, it is right in the middle of everything, but it's not ours. It's MDT's. They didn't even tell us they were going to put it there until it was
Yeah,
until it already
I
changed
found
hands.
out too the same way.
Yeah.
But It's chained off still, going into like week 4 now. And I saw cars there today, but not rest area cars. There must have been something else going on. But I haven't heard anything.
There's been MDT pickups there quite often,
Yeah.
but those are the only ones there.
We were coming home on Sunday from that direction, and there was a school bus pulled off because you can't get in there because it's chained off.
Yeah.
The school bus is pulled off on the right, and the kids were running across the road to duck under the chain. And I thought, well, don't you think, like, as the bus driver, like, maybe it's chained off because it's closed, you know? Because so then traffic was stopped on the highway. So they weren't children; they were high schoolers. So it was definitely like a sports team of some sort. It may have been even Saturday, actually. Anyway, so they could run across the road, and I was like, oh, well, because it's closed. That's why the chain is there. So
But it doesn't say closed.
it doesn't say closed. It just has the chain with that nice reflective orange and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well, it does say closed on the highway.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah, I saw that
No,
the other
I have
night
no
when
idea.
came home.
They and maybe they've told the commissioners. You know, I'm not saying that the commissioners don't know, but I certainly don't know. But
I would think they would know. At least I would hope they'd know.
yeah. But if it's not theirs, you know, it's no different than if Wheat Montana shut down.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know who's going to get the call when there is something going on, like now. Like people are going to call, hey, what's going on? And
Call MDT.
you're going to call the first person on your list. And well, it's Broadway, they got to know.
No, because there's no requirement for them to report to us. So there'd be no reason. The only way that Broadwater would know would be if the sanitarian was involved.
The clock is wrong, isn't it?
Is it the right time?
Yes.
1:53.
Nicole, where is the TED district down there?
Yeah, so the TED district is mostly on the east side of Highway 287 and north of I-90. So if you're looking on that map there behind you, you can kind of see that nice little area across from Wheat Montana. The steer-in trailer sales is not included. Teasers is not included. And Ron's Diesel
No,
is
it's
included.
not, yeah, it's everything north of there.
Everything north of Ron's.
Yeah.
And east. Yeah.
Yep. There's some roads going in there, but nothing else.
Yeah. And myself and the commissioners have been meeting on this topic. They have a noticed monthly public meeting with MBAC, which is Montana Business Assistance Connection, who are actively looking to recruit companies to come to that area. So we meet monthly to kind of discuss on
So
who MBAC is talking to, and you know what's happening and what some of the issues may or may not be. So
Saw the note looking for help on that, volunteers or whatever.
yes, yeah, that's right. Did you volunteer?
No.
I thought for some reason your name was on there to volunteer. Maybe I just
Might
added
have
it.
been some other reason, but not for that.
Not for that. Okay. Yeah, because we're building a TED board now. That's not, or TED committee. It's not a board. Excuse me, TED committee. And so actively seeking members to be a part of this TED committee to, you know, talk about once the money starts coming in, there has to be this mechanism to spend money, and that's through the committee that they recommend to the commissioners that they spend money. So.
Would there be a conflict of interest if I applied for that? I've spoke to, well, Jesse came to my house for trick or treat. I had 125 kids this year.
Goodness, nice. It's the yellow and the purple door.
Yeah.
That,
And Jesse and his cute little kid and his wife.
yeah, nice.
Kid almost fell off the stairs trying to get up. But I asked him about it, and I also emailed Daleen about that. And
Yeah.
is there a conflict of interest if I applied for that?
Not unless you own property down there and you're looking to build infrastructure down there. That's the only conflict I can see.
How about with the planning board?
No, because the TED board is
TED
looking
committee.
TED committee. Thank you, geez, TED committee. More spending money on infrastructure. So if there was an ask from some landowner in that district to say spend money on building sidewalks, right? That the TED committee would look at that, look at the need versus the amount of money involved in the, that is available.
So where's the money coming from that Ted receives?
It's taxes, tax increment. So whatever taxes those landowners are, and we'll use Bridger Brewing because that's the only improvement so far. So whatever that land was being taxed at previously, that land is still leaving the district, but the increment, the improvement, because obviously now that there's definite improvement on that parcel, that increment is what's being kept in the TED. So it's like this bubble that, you know, any taxes that were previously being paid are still being shipped out, you know, to the previous channels they were, schools, solid waste, roads, what else? I know I'm missing. Anyway, taxes that were being paid previously are still being paid, but that increment from the improvement, that stays in the district until, I think it sunsets after 25
And
years.
I believe the developer has first rights to some of that money.
Correct. Yeah, the developer. So it's usually the developer that will make the ask, and it's usually after the time that the subdivision is approved. Excuse me.
After.
Mm-hmm. But then they would ask for assistance from the TED.
Where the meeting's gonna be?
Likely in southern Broadwater County.
Oh, well,
That makes the most sense.
then maybe I will volunteer then.
Okay. It makes the most sense to be in southern, obviously being proximate to that area, but I don't want to, I would not attest to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold you to it.
It's being recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded, we got you.
Nicole, you're referring
I'm also a compulsive liar.
Wait, I did the disclaimer.
to meetings, I thought, are just with the county commissioners.
I don't know that it'll be just with the county commissioners because it's the committee. So the committee, I don't know that they need to meet with the commissioners. There will be one commissioner on the committee. So one commissioner and myself will be, and I don't know if we're committee members or liaisons. I mean, we're still trying to suss that out, having not been created yet. And I haven't read any documentation on it, but I don't know that it's with the county commissioners. Likely will report to the county commissioners because if there's any TED committee business to report, you'll want to report to all of the county commissioners since there's only one commission liaison. So that's probably how it will be with the commissioners.
Okay, I thought the committee meets strictly with the commissioners to review applications.
No, because I shouldn't say no for certain, but I don't think so because we're trying to take the commissioners out of making those decisions and have it be committee recommendations to the commissioners.
Right, right.
Otherwise, it could just be the commissioners that meet, but you could be right.
No, I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. I don't know enough about it to honestly to speak, intelligently to tell you yes or no. I know that there will be meetings with the commissioners, but I don't think every meeting is with the commissioners.
Okay. I just don't know if I'm have the mettle to do this.
I feel that. Yeah. Do you want to take a look at amendments before we wrap up?
Yes, if we can.
Can we talk about old business too?
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh, I'm sorry to.
get through this.
I had my glasses on. I
Can
gotta
I
take my glasses
give you
off.
one packet at a time to pass down, just so I have to
Read back
shimmy
quickly.
behind. So this is one packet of amendments.
One.
One. Oh shoot, hang on, stand by, Shay. I thought I had enough. Let me go make one copy of this cover page. I guess I do have to shimmy behind you, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Use a lot less paper if we do both sides.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than when you had a stack of them. You're the only one that was missing one.
I think so.
Front copy for my own self, I'm sorry. I didn't make myself a copy of that page. So hopefully I've captured all of your edits appropriately from the last few meetings. I do want to bring up, Commissioner Swenson had one recommended edit that you have not seen until this very moment. That was on page 1, item number 1, item number A, under legal access. So this edit is his recommendation, which the process is that you make the recommendation to the county commissioners and then they can make recommendation, but he had this thought before you made your recommendation. So I suggested we go ahead and get it added now so you can discuss it. So legal access exists when the subdivision abuts a public street or road under the jurisdiction of the city, the county, or the state, or when the subdivider has obtained adequate documented easements or appropriate written easements across all intervening properties from a public road. Just the way it's written now was a little clunky because it was and. So the developer would have to provide documented, adequate, and appropriate written easements across all intervening property owners. And it really shouldn't be both. If they have adequate documented easements, they don't need to get appropriate written permission from everyone along the road. Like if, maybe poor example, but let's use Alaska Trail because we were talking about it. Alaska Trail is a documented public access easement because on the recorded final plat, it's dedicated to the public. So if someone at the end of that subdivision wanted to subdivide, they shouldn't have to go and get written permission from everyone along the roadway because as the way this condition is written, it says and. So that means you're doing both. So it's recorded as a dedicated public access easement and you need to go get written permission from everyone along that roadway. And it really should be either or. So if there's not adequate documented easement, as in maybe an easement that's dedicated to the public or in some fashion it's dedicated to the public, then you have the option of going and getting appropriate written easements from everyone along the road.
I have trouble with the word adequate. What is adequate? What defines adequate? Whatever somebody says yay or nay kind of thing, or is there actually a definition? As to
I was looking to see if there was a definition of adequate here.
I mean, that to me is a subjective word. I mean, just
it
like
sure is.
Like the other one, appropriate. It's another subjective word. I mean, either it is or it isn't. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, it's very
subjective. That's my only
subjective.
concern with that way it's written. But.
Yeah, because in this definition, we just moved the word adequate to be in front of documented instead of behind it, but maybe adequate doesn't even need to be there, just documented easements. Because adequate, it definitely would be subjective, and if you're asking me what adequate documented easement is, I would say you would need to prove it. It needs to be something tangible. Either show me a recorded plat that shows it's an adequate documented easement dedicated to the public, or something from the county road book that shows it's adequate as a county road. Yeah, so I would need something tangible. Would be my definition of adequate. The next planner might have a different definition.
Could we take both adequate and appropriate out?
You can make whatever recommendation you'd like, yes.
So is there any other discussion on that? I think taking those two out would be fantastic.
Adequate and appropriate?
Yes.
Okay. And then the next edit was adding accessory dwelling unit, because we had so many conversations regarding accessory dwelling units, ADUs.
Any comments on that?
Self-contained means it has a kitchen and a bathroom.
Yes, that's correct. That's, yeah, and that's language coming from our sanitarian, I believe coming from DEQ.
Okay.
Kitchen, bathroom, and maybe even laundry facilities, but maybe not. That may not be part of self-contained. Do you want me to move on to the next page? Okay. Page 17. I don't know what the main item there is. It looks like under variance criteria 1J3B. So this is under variance criteria. We removed the personal or financial hardship language. So that essentially undue hardship does not include any hardship that is self-imposed, is how that will read.
I believe that's the way we had it.
And that came from the recommendation of staff, as in, you know, or not staff, I'm sorry, a member of the public, that why not? You know, if it's a financial hardship, if it's terribly expensive to do so and it makes sense to request a variance, why can't a financial hardship be used? And then the next item down, 1J4, under variance procedure, we added the statement that says if a variance is denied by the governing body, the applicant can go back to the planning board and be considered as new information. And that was essentially to say, so if an item is removed from the application and they get all the way to the commission where the variance is finally granted or not, and the commission says no, they don't have to start the process all the way back over at square one. They can come back to the planning board and say, hey, I have this new information. I decided to submit this item. And that made sense. Because you would have seen everything else in the application with the exception of that one missing item that was purposely left out as they were requesting a variance.
In the governing body is this planning board,
Commissioners.
commissioners. We don't have the authority to deny variances.
Nope, you can look at variances and you don't even make a recommendation, I don't believe, on variances. That it goes all the way to the commission before, let me see, yeah, no, the planning board. You can look at, you know, hey, here's my variance request, but you don't even make recommendations on it. The one in most recent history where there were a few variances, that was the Counts Hay and Grain minor subdivision where they were lifting the ag tract and they had 3 variances. I don't remember what they were off the top of my head, but but you didn't grant them. It's only the governing body that can grant the variance. So, which is, it's a real gamble. It's a real roll of the dice for the landowner or the developer to say, well, I'm going to get through this whole process, you know, because sometimes variances are requested when there's a public hearing. And so you go through the whole public hearing process and environmental assessment process and hydrologic analysis process and get to the commission, the governing body, and they say, no, we're not granting your variance. Then they're dead. That's it. The subdivision is done. They have to start all the way over at square one. So with the addition of this statement, they can simply provide whatever that item is that they had requested the variance on. They can provide it, come back to the planning board and say, hey, I have some new information. Let's hold a public hearing, instead of starting all the way over.
Very good with that?
Next page, page 22. The things this item, essentially, item number 2 on 2A2 on page 22, the table of contents, excuse me, we're just making this list match up with other lists we have in the subdivision regulations. I realized as folks were submitting applications that how come the numbering is off? Because we had 3 different lists in here that didn't necessarily match each other. And so all that was doing is making the lists match. So regardless of what list a subdivider is looking at, it's the same number for each item in their binder. So number 2, table of contents, that's simply bringing it in to match with the element complete checklist, and that I believe is, let me get you the item here, supplement 4, and then supplement 5 is the subdivision application submittal requirement. So supplement 4 is the short list, if you will, of what's required in an application. Supplement 5 is a more detailed list. This is also a list in the regulations, not in the supplements. We just need to make them all match. So that was way more explanation. I'm sorry that I needed to give you. I'm sorry.
Hello. Okay.
And then we took out what was formerly number 14. Well, the numbering is kind of off because we added in a 2 and then took out. So it was previously number 15. Proposed covenants for the subdivision because we don't want to review covenants. The county wants to be as hands-off with covenants as possible because we are not going to enforce them. So there's really no need to review them.
And then that changed the number for existing water rights. It was 15, all right?
To be, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Existing water rights then moves to number 15, mineral rights 16, yes.
Any comments on those? Moving on.
All right, next on page 23, we added a fire plan created in coordination with the Fire Protection Authority having jurisdiction. So there was a lengthy conversation around this and why it should be added to the application. It was not previously required to be added to the application. It was several iterations ago and was removed in this most recently adopted iteration of the subdivision regulations. So we're simply putting it back that the fire plan is included as an item in the application. And then moving down to number 27. So if you look at 26, 27, 28, I guess that whole area was previously, let's see, 25 on our existing regulations, environmental assessment for major subdivisions. And then 26 was the summary of probable impacts, but we had no community impact report. And the community impact report is required for all subdivisions. So it needed to be, and it's kind of lumped in with the environmental assessment or the summary of probable impacts. I just really wanted it to be called out as its own separate item because it is its own separate item in the supplements. So I think it was an important item to give its own designation.
Comments on that?
Mr. Chair, has there been any progress from the fire board to create a kind of a checklist or a fire plan template to be something to be checked off similar to the weed board? Is that something that they've discussed?
Yes, we have discussed it, and we checked with Gallatin County's subdivision regs and liked what they had. It's not exactly what Three Forks did, but it's close. And so we've got that document. I've actually got a copy of it if somebody wants to look at it right now that we'll have to submit for approval.
So that has to be approved by the commissioners or just the fire board?
The fire board wants to put it in the regulations.
Okay. So that'll come later to be,
Yeah, it should
to come through
us.
our,
Yeah.
our situation,
Yeah.
our board to be submitted to the commissioners.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, moving on to fire, page 81. So talking about this and talking about fire, we wanted to remove the requirement for fire regulations from the subdivision regulations in order to allow each of the fire districts, because we have 2 fire districts in Broadwater County, as you all know, allow them the authority and the ability to make amendments to their regulations without having to go through the subdivision regulation amendment process. And because our regulations that we have, our fire regulations that we have in our subdivision regulations are contradictory in some fashion to what was adopted by the Three Forks Volunteer Fire District.
Correct.
And so we didn't want to be contradictory or be confusing to the developers on what is required when districts are saying one thing and regulations are saying another. So that's where we landed here, that the fire plan will be created with the FPA for the area in which the subdivision is located. The applicant will work with the FPA, Fire Protection Authority, on what fire protection plan and on that fire protection plan. The fire plan will take into account that there is a water supply with sufficient volume for effective fire control for majors only. So that's just requiring that majors only have to have this requirement for water.
So on that note, maybe we do not have to have it put in there. We'll just go with the fire protection that we have in yellow. But they have to do the fire plan, and then we can give them our documents so they see what they have to follow. Is that what it should be?
Mr. Chair, it's not necessarily what it should be. I mean, it is your preference, but it seems to make it easier for the fire district to, or the fire board, excuse me, to make edits on behalf of their district if it's not in the regulations. And because this
Sure.
regulation is the commissioner's document, you don't have control over it. Does that make sense how I'm
Right,
saying that?
yeah.
And when I say you, I'm talking about you as fire chief
Yeah,
working on behalf of the fire board.
Yeah.
You would have more control over the document, the requirements, the amendments, if it's not in the regulations and not a commissioner document, because you all are also elected officials.
So how do we get it to the developers though? I guess that's what I have to come up with.
By this regulation. So by this regulation is stating that you will have to have a fire plan, and this list where we added it back in, they'll have to, they, as in the developer, will have to provide me with that fire plan before I can even mark them as element complete. And
So
so they would have to make
They're
contact
gonna have
with
to
you.
make contact with us. Okay.
Does that answer your question fully?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably should strike 5 hour. Just the
Oh yeah, you're right. So it's not just hanging out there. So that concluded my list of amendments as we have them. The other amendments that we spoke about, and I can bring these up at the planning board meeting next week if you want, but we've talked about these several times, and I'm sorry I didn't make copies, but to the environmental assessment. We've talked about this probably since, I want to say May of 2024, and making sure that our environmental assessment reflects exactly what's being required with the hydrologic study. And so I know we didn't talk about that at this last meeting, but I know we have talked about it since the end of 2024. Yes, thank you. Those are the changes.
Okay.
Thank you. And that's coming out of MACO, that's coming out from our legal department, our previous legal department, our, where we had a previous county attorney at the end of 2024, our current county attorney and his staff. So those edits will likely still stand.
Where are those?
We haven't made any more changes to them. I didn't print them off because
Okay.
we didn't talk about them at the last meeting, but I'm going to roll them into this same edit. Presentation, excuse me, to the commissioners. Any other edits for me, or are you fine with me moving forward on this document for adoption by the commissioners.
Do we have to make a motion to
Recommend.
these changes or amendments to the subdivision regulations to go to the commissioners?
Was that a question or a motion? Because that sounded like a really good motion.
So moved.
Yes, we do.
I
there a
would move that we recommend these amendments to the subdivision regulations to go to the commissioners for final approval, review and approval. Ooh, there we go.
Do we have to do what we edited today? Make that note too, or not?
I certainly have already added it going through this process, but it doesn't hurt to include that in your motion, to say including the edits made at today's meeting.
Including edits made today.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion to recommend the changes that were done to the amendments made to the definitions. And a second. Is there any other discussion? Anything, nothing on, do we have anybody listening?
No.
Okay,
We've got
good.
2 views, but not currently.
We got
Gave
it.
up on it.
We're pretty
Yeah.
Our DNRC conversation is pretty exciting.
That's all, then now they're gone.
That may
Boring
be when they
again.
left.
I heard that one.
Right, they're peacing out, yeah.
Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion?
I'd like a little more clarification on what happened with the ADUs. In September, we had a meeting where we kind of discussed your problems, and Ed and I went to 2 meetings here with the commissioners and sat through that, and we were headed towards some sort of approval sheet, which your county attorney, new county attorney, said that wasn't necessary, and that's where I got lost. And how is DEQ gonna get the permission or whatever they need to review these ADUs?
Absolutely. Do you want me to answer that during this motion period time, or do you want to complete your motion and then I can talk to you about other comments from the floor or other business? Other business, I think, is what I would put it under.
Okay, we can do it under other business. I thought we were through with the...
There was no, he didn't call for the final vote on.
Right. I was about to
He
say,
was close. So I can answer it now, but you can finish the vote if you want. If there's no further amendments to the regulation based on this discussion. I'm not trying to change that.
My fault.
It's fine.
okay. So, all in favor, do I have to repeat everything I went through? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Sorry.
All right.
All right.
Now, you want to answer his
I
question?
would love to answer his question because we talked about this for so long, and I want to thank you all for sticking with us. So on other business, ADUs, accessory dwelling units in the county, the reason we even started this discussion was because DEQ would need something from the planning department that he or she could sign off on to say, okay, we can finalize this DEQ because the planning department is okay with it. The planning department, myself, didn't have anything other than the application to base my recommendation on. It's not a decision, but my recommendation on. And if the application said for 1 single family dwelling per home, I couldn't give that recommendation to the DEQ reviewer. So that's how we ended up there with this ADU process. So then we talked about having an application. Maybe that would be a tool that could be used. Maybe looking at what the subdivision plat says. We don't want to look at covenants because we don't want to base our decision on covenants. Anyway, all of this to say, it ended up being that we had the tools all along in the form of a staff report. So the staff report is what the DEQ reviewer is going to base their decision on whether or not they can continue on with that DEQ approval. So if the staff report says 1 single family residence per lot, as my staff report typically does, either 1 single family residence per lot or 2, because I'm basing it off the application, then that's what the DEQ reviewer has to base their decision on. So that form, all of those discussions, it was really, really great conversation because it kind of got us all thinking about how can we operate differently. But I'm still going to continue writing my staff report based on the information that's presented to me in the form of an application. If the application box says 1 single-family residence per home, I'm going to regurgitate that to you in my staff report. Otherwise, I'd be remiss if I just left it out. So.
Does this new application say that?
Like the spiker minor?
Yeah.
Sure does. If you look on tab 1, item number 8 on, so it's page 10, but not page 10 in the document, it's just this page 10 at the bottom of the page, supplement 4, item number 8, type of proposed development, single family, check, check.
Supplement for page 8?
It's the
Sorry,
first page. in
it just
tab
says
one.
page 10 at the bottom of it, supplement 1.
Okay.
It
I'm
just
sorry,
says page
tab
10
1,
down here.
tab 1, supplement 4.
Tab
Wow,
one.
I'm getting this very confusing, aren't I? I'm sorry.
It's okay, you're doing good. I'm confused. But,
So it says page 10 at the bottom as well.
right.
So in there where it has type of proposed development, he's got marked single family.
I should be able to see that.
Number 8.
Number 8. Okay.
Which is not to say 1 single family residence per lot, just single family. So this is the information that I'm going to take and put into my staff report. And the DEQ reviewer is going to have to use some discernment then to say, because clearly, Broadwater County, we are not, and I feel very comfortable speaking for the commissioners in this aspect, we're not trying to stop people from having these ADUs. We just need to be sure that we're answering the questions appropriately when they're asked of us by DEQ. I mean, I think that if, the covenants don't allow for it, that's not our, when I say our, as in the county, that's not our fight, that's not our determination. We're not even going to look at the covenants. DEQ reviewer isn't going to look at the covenants. That's a discussion between adjacent landowners in the subdivision, or subdivision residents between each other. With the water rights situation, I don't know what that's going to look like. I do not know.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yeah,
You said it's an exempt well, but they don't have water rights approval.
right. And what if, a what if scenario, which say there's an 11 lot subdivision. Okay, that's enough to have the 10 acre feet based on that pre-approval from DNRC. But lot number 10, say lot 11 is not built on, lot number 10 builds their home, and then they decide they want to put in an ADU, and that ADU wants to build a well. Now does lot number 11 not get a well, even though it was permitted or approved by DNRC because lot 10 put in 2 wells? I have no idea. I don't have an answer for this. I mean, we what if the heck out of things. Trying to come up with scenarios of, okay, how can we mitigate this or prevent these situations? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen
Can I
with DNRC.
just ask one more question about that? Shouldn't we get a copy of the DNRC water rights approval in this application? Eventually.
Yeah, eventually, yes. As of January 1, it will be required, but they don't even have the form created yet, so we don't even know what to call it to include it. So we will have to do a quick turnaround of amendments to our subdivision
Usually
regulations.
it's just a letter saying, "Dear Mr. So-and-so, you have been approved for such and such."
But they're changing it. That's the DNRC pre-approval letters. They're no longer doing pre-approvals. They're doing a notice of intent to appropriate, is what they're calling it.
Okay.
So that's brand new.
But eventually that's going to be in here. And if it's not, we can just say,
You won't even get it. You won't. I mean, if I have done my
Right,
job, you won't
right.
even get the application, right? Because I will, if I'm
pretty
doing my
easy.
job, make sure that it's included as one of those items that's not missing.
your element checklist.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it's going to get ugly.
It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Yeah.
No, and the gentleman that was here during that ADU discussion who looked like he was upset with the commissioners, is he on Alaskan Trail?
No.
Because
No.
he was,
Yeah, and I don't know that there's any scenario that's going to assist them. I don't know. Because they're still going to have to get DEQ approval.
did you see the article in the newspaper about East Helena?
No. Was it in the IR?
Yeah, I think it was in the IR. I scooped it off the internet.
Oh, okay.
and
I'll have to.
It was, there's some development proposed for East Helena, but they don't have water.
Hmm.
So, it's, they can't do it,
Don't
Yeah.
say that, the golf course proved that wrong.
The golf course
Yeah,
in East Helena?
no, the golf course over here in
The
Crazy Mountain.
Oh, is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
They've got a nice
Enough money,
luxury
you can
golf
do
course,
whatever
they
you
had no
want.
water.
Whatever
They
you
weren't
want.
worried about it.
I read that article. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Oh, that's a different county, Wheatland County. They're nuts over there.
Easy now.
I think I moved to end this meeting.
How many other people can we offend in this meeting? Let's see. Dallas and I covered DNRC, Wheeling County. Yeah, it's fine. You can't get fired from a non-paid job, right?
That's true.
That's right. Can be asked to get removed, though.
Look at that.
All right. Any other items for discussion?
I have nothing, sir.
Anybody else have anything? No comments from the floor, because it's been like just laying there doing nothing.
Or go up and left.
Yep. Okay, next meeting date will be next Monday. Is that what day is that?
10th.
10th, yes. At 1 p.m. here. Now, want to move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
I heard a second.
Second.
So. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You can go on your own. So, all right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Well, this was a fun meeting.